Hello everyone, once again this is Grungi, your host for today, and we are back in Blender for some more video editing with it. And I realized that I forgot to tell you some important things about the interface of Blender. I should have added this in the description of the first video. If not, I'm very sorry. You've seen me like move around this interface like crazy. How do you do that, you might ask? It's simply you drag it with the mouse wheel clicked, so that you just do that and you can move around and pan the view. It's very useful. I also found out that the volume was very low, and I'm not really sure why with Blender. Apparently it does this. I tried to put it at a higher level. Hopefully that will show. I should be able to add the audio scrubbing again, so the playback audio not audio muted, audio scrubbing. Whoop. Okay, so that's okay. I just cannot talk above it because apparently my headphones it's much louder than here, but here we go. I wanted to tell you guys a little bit more about editing, and I wanted to especially show you some other transition and shortcut and all that good stuff. For example, here I have a crossfade. As we show you, you can have other effects, and if you selected, say you selected this gamma cross, and you said, oh man, I would have liked to change the effect type, but I cannot. Well, you can select your strip or effect strip, press C, and you can change the input. For example, if you want to swap inputs or all that the good stuff, or you can change the type of effect. For example, let's say we want to get like more Star Wars into it. So let's do a wipe. Okay, what a wipe does, if you see, and you can use also. Oh man, I'm sorry, I need to stop this because in my headphones that's way too loud. But I can use the arrow keys to go frame by frame, and you get the idea what this is about. A wipe is simply like having one of the strip take place of the other with just a wipe of the screen. So let's get into the middle here. So you see our two clips. You can have a lot of good stuff into it. So you can change the direction. So for example, this, if I change and I go in, it's from bottom to top instead of top to bottom. So you can change this. You can blur it. So you can put a number, like for example 0.5. You see, now you have a smoother transition. What you can also do is drag the slide bar, so you can see how it looks. So let's do like this, for example, and you have an angle that you can also drag, and then you see you get the idea. You can do an horizontal or diagonal swipe, so you can do pretty cool stuff. And there's also you also have four transition types. So the single one you have seen, the double one is like curtains opening. But you have also the clock one, which is basically like the hands of a clock, of an analog clock, and the iris, which is a center like this, so this like kind of cheesy circle transition. So that's pretty cool, and you can use that to add a little bit more variety into your strips there. But now, when we have this transition, there is something else we want to do. Since we have the commentary track here, let me zoom in a bit. We have the commentary track, and we would like to have a fade out in the sound of the intro. Because right now it's a bit loud, and we want to have it quieter. What we can do is select the position at which we want to start the the fade out, so this for example a little bit before the speech commence, and I can let me look. I should select my sound stripe, of course, and I can over the volume part. So we'll start at 0.2 and we'll go down. Well, you know what? Let's go from. Yeah, no, 0.2 is a. Well, no, let's do a more dramatic change. So let's say the volume of this strip is 0.5. We want to have it at 0.5 up until here. We hover the mouse over the volume and we press the I key. Hopefully I'm not. A, E, and I. That's the right one. I'm sorry, I'm bad at spelling in English. You press the I key and you'll see this turns yellow. What that means is that you inserted a keyframe. And to see what that in action, I'm going to change here the file browser, which we don't need at the moment, into a graph editor. So you see that I have here a new screen with a graph which shows a line, a dot, and the cursor, the play cursor, which is at the same position in all the view. And you see that in my scene I have like this, the volume, and you see that's the same color. So it does corresponds to that. So what we can do is, for example, we want our transition to be over here. So we want to have the volume go down, and I'm going to zoom in this so you can have a better view. And you see here now the volume is green, not yellow. Yellow is when you are on one of these keyframes, which is what you call what we added when we pressed the A key. And now what I will want to do is put it at, for example, 0.1. Let's go really quiet. So I'm doing this, and I insert a keyframe by pressing I. And look at this, look at what we have. Blender automatically makes a smooth curve between the two values. And now, if I would play by using this or Alt A, you will hear the volume like go down. Let's start at the beginning, so, or near the beginning. So listen to the volume there. So you heard the volume like go back and ease into the commentary there, and you can manipulate everything. You can select by right clicking a keyframe, press J and move it around. If you want to cancel something like this, you can press the right mouse button and is going to be placed back where it was. You can rotate with R to change the tangent actually of the curve. So for example, if you want to have a sharper transition point or something like this, and you can select one of the two circles and again grab it, and then again you can make it ease more towards one point or the other. Well, you can really manipulate this and make whatever you want. You could have like a volume going up or down, wherever you want. As if you want to do another transition, well, you go another place, you add another keyframe, you change the value, you put the keyframe with A, and you can do this with pretty much any. Actually, anything could go. You could change the pitch with this. You could change the panning of the audio with this, and have it like ease in and out with a smooth curve like this. So you can really do a lot of things. And actually, for example, our gamma right now, our gamma transition is regular, and just goes from starts at the beginning and linearly like. Takes up all the screen. I could change this and change the let's start at the beginning there. I could change this, for example, and let's change the blur. So let's start with 0 blur, and or just go 0 blur up until there. You can press I again, and let's say at the end we want to have at this point, for example, we want to have, or even for a little bit further, so we can show it like a big blur. You can of course 0.5. Can I? Yeah, okay. Well, you see again that we have our keyframe there, and you can see that the blur goes away, and you can do fancy stuff with this, and you can control the speed, which changing this, like this effect fader goes from 0 to 1 and controls the state of the transition. So you could do like something like yeah, I don't know why I did the noises, but you could control all the fading effects and all that good stuff with the system. So it's very a good it's very a good system. It makes everything way more flexible, and you have a lot of control on your transition and all that good stuff with this. So that's what I wanted to show you for this. Where is my file browser? It's there. So that's one thing. Of course, you can do all these transition with an image, for example. So this is a PNG file. I could easily just add. Let's put 10,000. So we have room to work with. I know that here, somewhere around here, I don't have any more commentary. So I could again right click and with shift to select the two, K to cut, and delete, because it selects usually the part after the cut. You can erase the strips there, and I could go a little further back, for example, and I could add an end slate here, which went down under, and which I can keep it there if I want. That's no big deal. And but of course you don't see it right now because it's under the other one. And then I could just grab the handle by clicking on the arrows and extend it. And again, then you see we have our end slate. We might just want to do first strip, second strip, select again, Shift A, add an effect strip, and I don't know, let's do a gamma cross, a simple gamma cross. So, and again, what should happen if everything went well is that, yep, I see it's going a bit slow because my computer doesn't like me recording and editing at the same time again, and that's basically what there is to it. Now you can do some fancy stuff with all that, of course. So for example, let's go back to our first transition there. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's cool, but I might want to add a little bloom effect to this. Can I? You sure can. You sure can. I can select my my transition strip, so not one of not one of the two original videos, but the resulting effect strip. Shift A again, and I could add a glow effect there. And already you see that there is a difference between this, and this. So, and what I could do, for example, easy, I can again go near the beginning, put for example not, well, the threshold could stay at 0, but let's put the boost at 0, press A, keyframe, go near the middle, I don't know, put 3 as a boost factor because we want to have something dramatic, and then at the end we can go 0 again and have it like this. Now my transition will look different because you see the bloom in this. and again you see the everything that's changing, all the properties that we have changed, and here we go. We have a pretty fancy transition now, and again you can continue to vary all the different settings with this system. What you can see now is that we have a lot of orange lines on the timeline. That's all the keyframes we have, and what we can do is use this, which is jump to previous or next keyframe, and it's up and down arrows. If I press down, I jump from keyframe to keyframe, all strips included. So you can either coordinate the keyframes or just keep track somehow or where you put them. But that's it. I think that's going to be it for this time. I told you this would be a two-part series. There might be a third one where I answer questions you guys might have. I think this represents most of my workflow. With this I can make pretty complicated stuff. The only thing I need to see is the ending of this one, because that's my last sequence, 1633. I put it there, boop, and now I'm ready to render again. That's just a little detail, but with this, it's basically you have my whole editing workflow in a nutshell. That's useful for while creating let's plays like I've shown you here, or making game trailers if you are a game developer or something. It's a real powerful tool. I could add there are some other things. If you reuse if you have like a template and you want to reuse it, you can do some cool stuff, like let's say I've changed this, like I've removed these two and I've put another one, another couple of tracks in there. I could select the tracks, select the transition again, and I could strip and reassign input. So press R, and it would simply reassign the inputs of this FX strip to the two ones I've selected, and bam, all would be set again. I wouldn't have had to change anything, and I shouldn't redo the whole transition thing. But I could keep them there, just reassign the inputs, and I would be good to go. There's a lot of little tricks, tips and tricks. I'm not really sure. What I might do actually, if you guys want it, is organize some kind of little live stream where I answer questions from the chat, and we can go through this, or do it in a video if I can collect a number of questions you guys might have. So feel free to contact me, put it in the comments, or send me a message, or reach me on Twitter, all that good stuff. I hope you learned something from this. I hope you enjoyed. Please, if you use Blender for editing and you have any tips to share, just pass them on. Make a video, I will retweet it, or try to get people to hear about those, and I would be myself interested to hear more about what Blender can do. It's already powerful, but I'm sure there's a lot of stuff. I mean, you could just something I haven't do, for example, I could add a scene, and scene is actually the Blender 3D scene. So you could make like a 3D animated title and put it directly into your editor, and have this sequence included in this. You could make overlays and what else with the let's see, add effect strip. Oh, my phone is going off, I'm sorry. But you could use the transform strip to change the geometry of your image if you want, like add a webcam or whatever. You could use the alpha over or under to add an overlay. There's a lot of stuff that could be done. I don't know what you guys would be interested in, so tell me. I'm going to stop rambling now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. As usual, this was Grungi, your host for today, and I will see you around.